Hi, I'm Christina Martin from Nova Scotia, Canada. I'm so excited to introduce to my audience today the music of Vildá from Finland. It's a duo that combines musical yoiks, swinging rhythms, and improvisation in a really cool, unique way. They're influenced by contemporary pop music and also Finnish folk music. I want to get the pronunciation right for both of your full names. Okay, so Hilda, is it Hilda? Now, I studied some German, so I'm probably going to mess this up. Is it Hilda Leinsman?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Landsman, yeah.
No, you're saying like that's good enough. But what Leinsman? Say it.
Landsman, yeah.
You're the vocalist. You're performing the yoiks. You're playing drums, and you're from the most northern part of Finland. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Vivi, am I getting your first name right?
Viivi.
Vivi. Maria Sarenkylä.
Saarenkylä.
Saarenkylä.
Yeah,
Whoa.
this Finnish double vowels.
Saarenkylä.
Saarenkylä.
And you're on accordion in Vildá and backing vocals. And together, I've been listening to your music, and it's like nothing I've ever heard. And it's beautiful. It's refreshing. I was listening especially to your newest record, which is I only can say the English. I think translation is called Wild Print. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And in Finnish, the Wild Print is.
It could be like villijälki
Vildijälki.
Iltaluetto.
in Sami.
Okay, so it's a Sami title. And is Vilda a Sami word? Because I found this vegan fashion online magazine called Vilda, and they said that Vilda was Swedish for the wild one. But is that
It's
incorrect?
also for Sami, yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
very cool. We also have to get something straight and out of the way because I think a lot of North Americans think that Finland is Scandinavian, but it's not.
No.
And does it piss you off when people call you Scandinavian?
No, I would like to be Scandinavian.
You would
like Finland to be. Like we feel sometimes maybe a little bit like outsiders when like Swedish and Norwegian and Denmark people are like mingling together and we're like the weird ones speaking weird language.
Aww.
Yeah, I guess a lot of Finnish people actually mistakenly think that we are part of Scandinavia, but there's a difference between Scandinavia and the northern countries and or the Nordic countries, and we are part of those, but not the Scandinavia. So not many people even think about it. I think we want to belong to Scandinavia.
We want to be.
You want to be. Well, you could write a letter. Maybe something could happen. But so you're Nordic.
Yes.
Cool. I think that's wonderful. I think it's great to be unique. But I understand also wanting to be like something, as I think when we're maybe traveling abroad in Europe, we're always wishing, oh, I wish I could live in Europe and be European. But I'd love for you to tell us how you both met and maybe a bit about the moment where you were like, I really think we should make music together. Like, how did that go?
Well, it happened quite fast. We met in school. We started studies 4 years ago in University of Arts in Sibelius Academy in Helsinki. And during the first week, we performed as solo, and then we were put together into different groups in there, and then we got to hear each other there. And like quite soon after that, we suggested that maybe we could have a small meeting outside the music house in Helsinki, and then we got the idea to work together, and it only took a few weeks, and then we had our first concert in Helsinki in one library.
Wow.
And it was like the City Sami Association that arranged the concert, and we played there a few songs.
And for me, it was like the first time in my life that I felt after meeting Hilda that and hearing her to sing. Like I had this really, really clear idea in my head that we have to do a duo and it's gonna work out.
Oh, you
It's
had
gonna
this
be
clear vision. Yeah.
something that we just have to do. I don't know
Yeah.
how it came. I have never had that feeling before, but I remember it was really like clear something that we just need to do this. And then the first gig happened, and then that was even more clear that okay, also people liked it. And,
So you
we
manifested
should
it. And so that was how long ago?
4
It was
years ago.
4 years ago.
Okay.
And it was interesting that during that first gig it was like Sami people's event, and like our people also liked it, even though it's something that hasn't really been combined, the accordion and yoik. It's kind of like something very Finnish in a way, and something somehow
Something
a
really
weird combination, but it works.
It does work, and in such a short, I consider 4 years a short period of time to really develop a sound and be really good at it. And when I listened to like the first single on your new album on Spotify, I was like, damn, this works. Like this, I can feel it. Like it makes me want to move, and I have no idea what they're saying, but it doesn't matter. It just resonates. And so I commend you for that and following your intuition that this would be a great partnership. So can you tell us about, because my audience, I think maybe some of them wouldn't know about, I didn't know what a yoik was. And I think it's, yeah, really something very special and unique to where you're from. So can you tell us what it is? And yeah.
Yeah, it's a vocal tradition of Sami people, and we are actually living in 4 different countries in northern Finland, in Sweden, in Norway, and in Russia. And it's kind of like it has this practical means, the yoik, and it's usually like a cappella without any instrumentation. Like traditionally, it's in that way, and yoik brings people together in a way, because usually yoik doesn't tell a story about the thing, but it's kind of the thing in a way, or the other kind of name of it, or other kind of formation of the thing. And for example, I have my own yoik gifted by my mother to myself, and then some people might know it. And then when I meet them, they might yoik it for, I don't know, 5 seconds, and then I know, yeah, that's me. And it's kind of a maybe way to greet and meet, and then to be part of the families, and also knowing your background, like when you're knowing people like your great grandfather's yoik or things like that. And also like small places can have their own, villages can have their own yoik. And yeah, it's one of my goals at some point. It's to make more traditional type of yoiks for people from these days, like people, so that like from in Finnish side, the yoik isn't that much heard, like in like everyday life. So it would be that to give yoiks to different people, so that it could be more in practice, like
it could be hip, like, well, I mean, you're making it hip again.
And some people say that it's like it's always going on somewhere, the yoik, and then you just kind of pick it up,
grab it,
and like the melody starts wherever it's going in the world. So the yoik melody doesn't have like exact beginning or ending spot. In a way.
I also read that there was a time when Christian missionaries they shut down yoik singing because they thought it was like a pagan, or it was deemed pagan practice, and now it's becoming much more, it's coming back and much more widely accepted and celebrated. So that's cool.
Yeah, it has been. But we're being very lucky that it still has stick with us, the yoik tradition, and coming back. Yeah.
What's your yoik? Like, can you say it?
Well, I can like practically I can teach it, but normally I wouldn't yoik it to anyone because it's kind of seen as bragging and it feels weird
Okay, we don't
to
want you
yoik.
to do that. We don't want you to feel weird or
For other people's yoiks I can do, and yeah, when I'm like trying to communicate or remembering the people and like feeling lonely, I want to remember them, I can
Oh, okay.
yoik them.
Okay. That's interesting. Cool. And Vivi, your history with the accordion.
Okay, so my big brother, he's 9 years older than I am, and he played the accordion. So in my life when I was a young kid, like no other instrument existed.
Yeah,
I
okay.
wanted to play the same thing as he did.
Cool.
So I insisted my family since I was like 4 or 5 years old that I want an accordion. And finally, when I was 6 years old, they got me one,
Wow.
small one. And that's how I started. And then I studied some classical accordion and a little bit of popular music, because
Yes.
accordion in Finland is like popular for old popular music.
Okay.
And also folk music.
Mm-hmm.
So I played that kind of things too, but mostly classical was what I studied.
Mm-hmm.
And then later I studied jazz also.
Wow.
And in a conservatory too. So I became a musician, professional from a conservatory. And I did a lot of soloist stuff. I studied with an Italian jazz accordionist, like a world famous accordionist, and I toured the world to do some accordion competitions, but always for the jazz and the virtuoso categories. So I didn't get that deep into classical. I got more into like other styles. And then
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big part of what my playing sounds now. So it's part of this jazz and tango and some Finnish folk stuff, but mostly world music and really solistic things and like lots of technique training and that kind of things for the competitions. And then after that I started to study in the same program with Hilda, this world music thing, and that's how I got even more into different ethnic styles and different also accordion traditions in different parts of the world. Like Colombian cumbia music is such an interesting thing, and Italian accordion music, and actually how accordion is used in the jazz scene and where those influences come from, and that's how I get inspired. And of course these days the Finnish tradition, that's also something that interests me more and more. And especially with Vildá, I think it's nice that people hear some kind of northern sound and they combine like the accordion to the Finnish tradition in our music, which I also like, and I think it's something I could get even more into maybe.
Yeah. Your singing, like how that developed. You said your mother, this is something that your family probably passed down, I'm assuming.
Yeah, my mother is a musician as well, so it came from that side in a way. Yeah. And then also I was very lucky to have a good music teacher in elementary school who like tried to motivate and encourage us to make our own music in Sami language and through the pop music and stuff like that. Then I started more get interested in a traditional, the vocal tradition, the yoik, and also like seeing and following my mother's work. So
and you have toured in Canada. I was just wondering overall your, I guess, impression of touring, playing in Canada, and did we treat you well?
Yes. And we have these amazing memories. Like I think one of the most memorable gigs for us happened in Canada in a festival called Summer Folk in Owen Sound. And that's where we got to know what a workshop means in a folk festival in Canada. I don't know if it's throughout the whole Canada, but like we had that in our festival timetable, a workshop, and we were prepared to go and teach people some Yoik tradition maybe, and that kind of thing. And then we found out 5 minutes before the gig that actually this is a 1 hour long concert for a full tent. I don't know, close to 1,000 people, and we are playing it with people we don't know, never met, and it was amazing. We did a couple of those.
Well, we were kind of surprised, like after we released our first album, that actually we got to work and tour a lot.
Yeah, I think we would have as many gigs as we can ever take, and that's an incredible situation. Like, I think we are every day surprised, and like we feel so warm-heartedly, do I say that right? We feel so warm-heartedly welcome everywhere where we've been, and people are always so curious and so interested to hear, and that feels like it's very special. And that's been in Canada and in everywhere else, I guess, we've been. And at least I think we are looking forward to get back to gigging also. And feel that again. And it's been wonderful. Well, for Vildá, we had a little bit difficult situation that we are staying like 1,000 kilometers apart, like right now. I'm in the very southern end of Finland, and Hilda is in the north, so we couldn't do like live stream concerts and that kind of stuff. That wasn't the question. So then we came up with this modern Instagram live thing in the beginning of the pandemic, and we had one chat like that, and then we decided there to make a new song. We promised those people who came to follow the live session, the live chat, and we're gonna make a new song out of propositions that they gave to us, some like song names and topics. We asked what would they like to hear, and that's how we ended up doing one new song. And we recorded that just at home, like home studio style, and made a COVID style music video, so share screen thing, and that's in YouTube. It's called 2 Kilos of Love. It's our first love song ever. That was such a great thing to do, like a really major sounding, not minor like all of our music usually is, but really happy song during this time that people have found difficult, more or less. But that's something we did.
That's great.
And now we had a couple of gigs already.
Okay, I just have a couple more fun facts that I've discovered that maybe you can say are maybe accurate or not accurate, but about Finland. So I read that, is this true? Finland celebrates a day of failure, October 13th. Did you know about this?
I didn't, but that's wonderful if that exists.
It is. Yeah, you have a day of failure where apparently prominent people, everybody, it feels more comfortable like coming and saying, okay, I failed at this. And then it's an opportunity to also say like how you persevered. So my question to both of you is, can you share with us some way that you maybe had a failure and then persevered as a result of it?
I remember one specific gig performance that I had. I think I was in secondary school, but one of my ex-primary school teachers asked me to perform at my previous primary school for his birthday or retirement party or so. So it was a special event for him, for this teacher, and there was some of his ex-students and all the staff of the primary school, which I knew very well. And then I was invited to play there because I think he liked my playing, and I failed miserably. I remember I played a song called Polka in Minor, and I just totally forgot. I had like a real bad blackout, and I couldn't finish the song, and then I just didn't know what to play. It was a struggle from the first note to the very last, and it didn't sound like anything as the song would sound. It just I mean, it went so badly that people could hear that this is not right.
Really?
And then I ended up holding one button in the right hand, and I was trying from left hand. I was playing all the chords as long as I ended up doing one as I had in my right hand too.
Oh.
Because I was so, I don't know, nervous and stressed about the situation. I couldn't even think like, where do I have the same chords? You know, accordion has two sides, and I should know, but I didn't. So that's how I ended the song in the end, that I finally found by trying, okay, this fits here, and boom, I played the last chord. And I was so embarrassed.
Did they
I just
clap?
walked away.
Did they clap?
They clapped, but it was super awkward because it was so badly wrong. And then, you know, I remember that was just...
What'd you learn from that? Like, is it because you were not like practiced? Did you then go, okay, now I have to practice? Or you just literally had stage fright?
I think
It was like
maybe I hadn't practiced like super well, but I had prepared for, like, it was not that I was totally unprepared. It was just that day it didn't go. And I think I learned, you know, that it felt horrible, but I think it's, you know, it's good to have that experience one day, that you cannot just perform every day, or you cannot be perfect every day. And it can happen for people who are on the stage doing something in front of other people. And that feels like when you see professionals, artists, I was a young kid then, but it feels like they are always perfect. Like no Madonna makes mistake on the stage. But then you start to feel like you have to be the same also. You can never do such a big mistake. And then when it happened, I think it was just like good to learn that, okay, it felt horrible, but the world did not like stop there, you know?
Yeah, you're still alive. That's true.
I'm still alive, and that can happen, and that could happen to anybody in the end, I think. But it felt
it's true.
horrible. Still feels bad.
What about you, Hilda? Is there any...
That was... there probably are like some very hilarious failures, but I can't not really remember now. But maybe one is what I like in the Yoik tradition is that in my mind, at least, that it doesn't need to sound really like beautiful in a way, and I think that whatever sound comes out of me is good, and it's I play with the voice I have at the moment, and this kind of thinking way brings me to the situation that I don't like warm up my voice before gigs, and so I like to have the freshness. Just okay, now it was like this today. Okay, well, let's play with this. But then when you're having concert tours a lot, and then it probably would be smart to warm up your voice, because you're singing very much with this sometimes quite hard vocal technique. And sometimes I have got like almost serious pains in my throat, and waking up every night coughing for 5 minutes because it might be the thing that I should warm up. Or
are y'all really the biggest coffee drinkers in the world?
Yes, except not Hilda.
No, Hilda doesn't drink coffee.
I have been learning this summer, like drinking coffee from the wooden cup and taking it to when I'm hiking or picking berries, and
Okay. Do you know what? You have the longest palindromic word that comes from the Finnish language, and I'm gonna butcher this. Saipuakivikauppias. Do you know this? Is that a word?
Yes. Saippuakivikauppias.
Okay, that's better. And what does this mean?
It's a soapstone seller.
Someone who sells soapstone?
Soap. Yeah, a
soap
specific
seller.
kind of soap. The like the pricks of soap.
Okay. Wow.
Liquid.
What a weird, cool, fun fact. So that word is spelled the same from back to front,
Yes.
front to back, and it's 19 letters
Yes.
long. Say it one more time,
Cool.
please.
I think it was saippua kivikauppias.
Okay, I'm not gonna try and say it. But
Yes.
yeah, very cool. Of course, everybody talks about the saunas. You have over 3 million saunas in a country of like 5 million people. Is it really that big a thing?
What?
Does saunas,
Sauna. I
do y'all
think.
have a sauna? Like, does everybody
Yeah.
Yes.
sauna?
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
not in cities in every house, like in
In the
yeah.
older style, like block buildings, apartment
Okay.
buildings, not every apartment has a sauna, but any block building built the last 20 years, I think they have, each apartment has a sauna, plus then there's a common sauna in the cellar
Yeah.
or
Okay.
rooftop. And then we have sauna, when you buy a land to build
Yeah.
a house, you first build the sauna.
Really?
And then you build the cottage or the house. And we have
Practical.
saunas on the boats. And yes.
Is there one on your parents' boat?
Actually, that one doesn't have, but we have a tent sauna then. So we can just bring the sauna with
Fun.
us to the islands and put it anywhere we want.
Okay, so I also read that you have the Europe's biggest number of prison breaks because you have these open concept prisons that
Really?
yeah, did y'all know that?
Yes.
Like, so you have like a very progressive open prison system.
Yes.
Because prisoners can like study, work, walk around town, they can easily escape. Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
mm,
I think in Finland it's like it's tried to organize in a way that also prisoners have like an easy um, step back to normal life after they are released. So whenever it is possible, it's organized by these open prison systems where you can be in a normal work life basically or study.
this is fun. I've started to discover your music. I will continue to, and I'm so excited to share it with my audience. I'm not worried about you. I think that you are on a great path with heart, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Christina.
This was super nice moment to chat with you.
Yeah.